Have you ever looked up after a few weeks of focus and thought, why am I not further along? You're doing the work, you're showing up, but progress feels slower than it should. I know that feeling. And in this video, I'll show you what actually creates momentum so you start seeing movement earlier instead of waiting weeks for traction. And over time, you become someone who builds momentum on purpose instead of hoping it shows up. I'll show you why most business owners start the year motivated and still lose traction, why progress feels slower than it should, even when you're doing a lot, and what you need to focus on right now to build real and lasting momentum. Not more motivation, not bigger goals, a better execution system. Here's what's really happening. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water, but there's a hole in the bottom. You can pour faster, you can pour more often, but the bucket never fills. That's what business feels like when you don't have a business execution system that turns focus into momentum. Most business owners don't actually have a real execution system for their business. And that's why momentum never sticks. When focus isn't anchored, effort leaks, just like the water in the bucket. So you rely on motivation just to keep you going. You set new goals, even bigger goals, but nothing really locks in because your attention fragments across too many priorities. And the painful result? Momentum stalls despite your best effort. There's no real progress. Every week feels like a reset, and quietly, you start thinking, I should be further along by now. This is why so many capable owners feel stuck at six figures. Not because they're doing the wrong things, but because their effort isn't compounding. Now, imagine the opposite. Imagine putting effort into a system that actually holds water. Focus turns into traction. Progress becomes visible early. Confidence grows because movement is obvious. And work feels lighter. Not because you're doing less, but because you're doing what actually matters. That's what it feels like when you know how to build momentum in your business. Not by working harder, but by executing with clarity and intention. By the way, if we haven't met, my name is Dave McGee. I'm a business performance coach, and for more than 20 years, I've helped hundreds of small business owners break through the six-figure plateau and build businesses that generate $1 million or more in revenue. And I've seen this pattern over and over again. So here are 3 steps to ensure your business goals don't just sound good, but actually become reality. First, create an exciting mission. Momentum starts with a mission, not motivation. Most people try to motivate themselves to work on their goals, but motivation is unreliable. It fades, it fluctuates. What actually works is a mission. Think about the Apollo program. NASA didn't say, let's make progress in space exploration. They said, land a man on the moon and bring him back safely before the decade is out. The mission was clear. It was bold. It aligned thousands of decisions towards one outcome. And most of all, it was exciting. That excitement mattered. It pulled people forward. So, how do you apply this to your business? Define one 90-day mission that supports your long-term vision and your one-year business targets. If it doesn't excite you, and if it doesn't clarify your decisions, it's not the right mission. Second, execute in short cycles. You want to know why progress feels slow in business? You're planning too far ahead instead of finishing what's right in front of you. You don't need bigger goals or different goals. You need a clear execution system. Stop planning the entire quarter in detail. Decide what matters most for the next 6 weeks. Then commit, execute, review, and adjust. Take your 90-day mission and determine what you'll complete in the next 6 weeks. Then decide what from that you'll complete this week. That's how momentum stacks. Finally, prioritize impact over effort. The Harvard Business Review found that when leaders reduce priorities from many to 3 or fewer, execution speed and follow-through increase dramatically. My friend Brian Moran, the author of The 12-Week Year, takes it even further. He says 2 priorities are better than 3, and 1 priority is better than 2. So here's the application. Make sure you have no more than 3 objectives for your business over the next 6 weeks. Better yet, narrow it to 1. Protect your attention like it's an asset, because it is. and it may be your most important one. If progress feels slower than it should, it's not a motivation problem, it's a systems problem. When you build an execution system that turns focus into momentum, work stops feeling heavy and results stop feeling delayed. If you're ready to capitalize on that momentum and build a $1 million framework for your business, I've put together a video that shows you exactly how. It's the same framework I use with my private clients. The link to that and other free resources are in the description below.